Shahed-129 occupies a specific and revealing place in the evolution of modern warfare, not because it is technologically exceptional but by global standards, but because it represents Iran's first sustained success in converting unmanned aviation from propaganda and experimentation into a repeatable instrument of military power. The Shahed-129 is best understood not as a peer competitor to Western systems, but as a strategic compromise shaped by sanctions, doctrinal constraints, and Iran's need for persistence, low-cost presence across contested regional theaters. Its significance lies less in raw performance and more in what it reveals about how a constrained state adapts modern air power concepts to asymmetric realities. The development history of the Shahed-129 reflects Iran's broader military-industrial trajectory. Since the early 2000s, initiated during a period when Iran faced tightening international sanctions and technological isolation, the program emphasized endurance, simplicity, and indigenous manufacturability over sophistication. Rather than attempting to leap forward directly to stealth or high-speed platforms, Iranian designers focused on replicating the functional logic of American mail drones: long loitering time, electro-optical surveillance, and precision strike against lightning-defended targets. The choice was rational rather than ambitious. It prioritized operational utility within Iran's regional environment, where many adversaries lacked advanced air defenses and where persistence often matters more than survivability. Design-wise, the Shahed-129 is conservative and derivative, drawing clear inspiration from platforms like the MQ-1 Predator and, according to some sources, possibly influenced by captured or downed Israeli UAVs such as the Hermes 450. Its high-mounted straight wings, V-tail configuration, and rear-mounted pusher propeller are optimized for fuel efficiency and endurance rather than maneuverability. The airframe's composite construction reduces weight and radar signatures marginally, but more importantly allows for domestic production without dependence on high-end metallurgy or advanced manufacturing techniques. This reflects a deliberate trade-off: accept vulnerability in exchange for affordability, ease of repair, and scalability. At the core of the Shahed-129 operational concept is persistence. With a claimed endurance of up to 24 hours, the platform enables Iran to maintain continuous ISR coverage over areas of interest, particularly in border regions and expeditionary theaters such as Syria. Even if the full endurance figures cannot be independently verified, available evidence suggests that drone can loiter for many hours, which in itself is sufficient to alter tactical dynamics on the ground. Persistent surveillance allows Iranian and allied forces to track enemy movements and coordinate artillery and missile strikes, as well as conduct post-strike damage assessment without risking manned aircrafts or pilots. Armament integration was the most significant hurdle the Shahed-129 program faced. Its delay is telling. Each early claims of missile capability preceded actual operational reliability by several years. The initial Sadit-1 and Sadit-361 missile concepts suffered from guidance, launcher, and component supply issues, highlighting the difficulty of integrating precision weapons under sanctions. It was only with the later adoption of the Shahed 345 precision-guided munition that the Shahed-129 became a consistently credible strike platform. Even then, its payload remains limited, typically carrying no more than 4 weapons and lacking the protective canisters used by Western drones to shield sensitive electronics from environmental stress. This again reflects a pragmatic compromise rather than an oversight. The question of range illustrates the gap between theoretical performance and operational reality. While Iranian sources frequently cite combat ranges exceeding 1700 kilometers and ferry ranges approaching 3000 kilometers, these figures ignore the decisive constraint imposed by command and control architecture. The Shahed-129 relies primarily on out-of-sight data links to ground control stations, severely limiting its effective combat radius. Estimates by independent analysts place this radius in the range of a few hundred kilometers at best. Although waypoint-based autopilot systems allow the drone to fly beyond direct control, such as operations degrade responsiveness, target accuracy, and survivability. In practical terms, the Shahed-129 is a regional asset, not a strategic one. Operational use in the Syrian civil war provided the first true test of the platform. Deployed alongside Iranian Quds forces personnel and allied militias, the Shahed-129 conducted hundreds of surveillance sorties and a small number of strike missions. Syria offered permissive airspace, limited air defense threats, and high intelligence value targets, making it an ideal proving ground. The drone's performance there demonstrated its utility against insurgent and irregular forces, while also exposing its vulnerability when confronted by advanced air forces. Shootdowns by US and Allied aircraft underscored the platform's inability to survive in contested airspace, reinforcing its role as a tool for low to medium intensity conflict rather than peer warfare. These losses are not evidence of failure but rather confirmation of doctrinal boundaries. Iran doesn't deploy the Shahed 129 expecting air superiority. It deploys it where such superiority is absent or irrelevant. In this sense, the platform fits neatly into Iran's broader military doctrine, which emphasizes deniability, cost imposition, and psychological pressure rather than decisive battle dominance. A drone that costs a fraction of a manned aircraft, even if occasionally lost, can generate disproportionate strategic effect through surveillance, signaling, and selective strikes. The evolution of the Shahed-129 into variants with redesigned nozzles, increased payload claims, and potential radar or satellite communication systems suggests an incremental approach to capability enhancement. Rather than abandoning the platform, Iran appears intent on exceeding its relevance through modular upgrades. Whether these upgrades achieve their advertised performance is secondary to the strategic intent behind them to gradually erode dependence on line of sight control, expand maritime and over the horizon surveillance, and complicate adversary planning through uncertainty. In the broader context of the global UAV proliferation, the Shahed 129 exemplifies a second tier drone power model. It is neither cutting edge nor obsolete. Instead, it represents a mature, functional system designed to operate with clear constraints. Its true importance lies in normalization. By fielding a domestically produced male UCAV, Iran signaled that advanced unmanned strike capability is no longer the exclusive domain of Western or Allied states. This normalization lowers the threshold for drone warfare and contributes to a more crowded, unstable aerial battleplace, particularly in regions already prone to proxy conflicts. Ultimately, the Shahed 129 should be judged not by comparison to American or Israeli systems, but by alignment with Iranian strategic needs. It provides persistent eyes in the sky, limited by real strike capabilities, and a platform for iterative technological learning. It is vulnerable, imperfect, and constrained, yet effective within its intended envelope. As such, it stands as a case study in how power is not always built through superiority, but through sufficiency, repetition, and willingness to accept loss as a cost of influence.